Oh, oops.
Mario.
Hello.
Hello.
Um, start saying things right now.
Start saying things right now.
I didn't say that. Are there ones here? Oh gosh. Madam. Oh, that's funny.
I'm working on a song right now that's kind of okay.
Is it the Temple of Nowhere fun?
No.
That would have been funny.
Why?
Why would that be funny? Why am I asking?
Why'd that be funny?
Because it just would be, okay? Lay off. Lay off and get off my back.
Okay.
Thank you. You were very heavy. Hope the audio's okay. I hope someone shows up to tell me how big my belly is. And if the audio's okay, but mostly the first thing.
Kiwi, the data's in.
What?
Your belly's really big.
Oh, I thought you said the date is in, not the data is in. This makes sense. This makes sense that my belly big. There is one here. I'm a genius. Oops. What are you doing? Playing with your belly?
Why would I do that? That's such a stereotype of jam.
What? I'm sorry.
But yes.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
How is it?
Oh, you know. It's kind of private.
Why?
It's just... I don't want this information getting out to the public.
Oh, whatever. As if anyone watches this shit anyway.
Well, if everyone promises to keep a secret, it's soft.
Oh, no one's here to promise.
Guys, in chat, hit the like button if you want to mean more names.
If what?
If you want to see future streams. Tonight's stream we're going to be doing a giveaway.
Tonight's stream, I'm gonna give away my location.
So stay tuned. And also, I'm going to give away 3 copies of Magical Wizard Wars.
I'm gonna give away that I don't know what that is.
It's a free game, the servers are down. It's actually legitimately unplayable. The launcher just says there's no servers, you can't press play.
It sounds like it's not free to play. You can't.
Nothing.
It's nothing. Yeah.
Free to nothing.
Dude, I suck. What am I doing?
A lot of times when I'm on your stream, I just spend the whole time sitting here doing nothing. But this time I'm gonna do something.
This time you're gonna play with your belly.
Okay, here we go.
Why are you making that noise?
I have to go to a doctor.
How do I sound compared to yesterday? The same?
Pretty much the same, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No,
If you
don't.
must know, non-existent YouTube viewers, I'm sick. I'm pretty sure the most likely one is just me looking back at the VOD for some random reason. And then I like hear
That's
that
where
I'm
someone
sick, and
comments,
I'm like, oh,
no, I've watched all of these and actually I have a crush on you.
if that person exists, let me know what you think of my belly. Make a comment that says what you think of my belly as well. It can be the same one as the first one. Just do it. Please. It's important.
Can someone draw Vella's Bella? Oh, sorry, I thought I was muted. I was talking on the phone. I do all my commissions by phone nowadays. It's just easier.
You like set up a conference call with a bunch of artists and then you're like, can someone draw this? Please?
I'm gonna auction off the opportunity to draw Vella's Bella to you.
I know that one's there. Well, that's a job well done.
It's really dumb how you can't get rid of the What's New section of your library on Steam without editing the goddamn CSS.
Wait, what? Oh, you mean the like news section, I see.
Yeah, I don't want it to exist, and yet.
And a jet. I'm not getting this. Where's your wing cap? Shy wiggles my butt sensually. What's funny about that?
How is it sensual? What does that entail?
What is your problem? I don't know, it's just sexy or something. Is that so much to ask? I'm probably too quiet on this stream. Oh well. That's number cough. Just so you know. Oh, is there one? No. There's one somewhere here. Oh, I need to put 2 filler messages. There. And now any real messages should show up, I think. I see one. So wait, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Looking around.
What around? Twerking?
You're just so
Cute. I'm just so
your
cute.
mind is in the gutter, Stinky.
What?
I'm using Stinky as an honorific.
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't think I'm using that word right. What kind of word is man?
Ma'am? Like M-A-A-M?
Yeah.
I think that's my belly. I think that's an honorific.
Add it to Google AI overview that tells me that it is a noun. Thanks. Oh, well, this guy on Reddit calls it an honorific term, so whatever.
It's either a noun or an honorific. Nobody knows which.
Max called me Mrs. one time.
Are you reporting this while like stimming with glee?
Yeah.
Why?
He showed me a song and I was like, it sounds like Owl City, and then he said, all songs sound like Owl City to you, Mrs. And then I said, all smooth white boy voices are automatically Owl City in me mind.
Oh, Owl City. I had no idea what you were saying.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Not enunciating enough, probably.
I thought those usually teleport you. This one just dumped me in the water. This one just dumped me, humiliated me. In the cafe, no less. Okay, I need to find one more. Jam, I need to find one more.
One more left.
Oh, this is probably gonna get rid of my Indian count.
Did you know Super Mario 64 wasn't actually the first 3D platformer? It was actually the Dreamcast.
Yep. What? Wow.
You failed the Purple Demon Challenge.
What?
You failed the Purple Demon Challenge.
No. Not the Purple Demon Challenge.
The Cinnamon Challenge.
What?
Did you know that high concentrations of cinnamon are actually delicious?
Wow. I guess that people should, like, give me treats and stuff. Because of this information.
What about a suspiciously slimy snickerdoodle?
Sure, I'll take it. Why is he so slimy? I say
This is how
instantly
the...
before shoving it into my mouth.
Why is it so slimy?
You're making fun of me.
That's how the castle is laid out in Paper Mario 1.
What?
In the game. That castle interior, that's how it looks in Paper Mario 1.
I see. Is it so ungodly huge for no reason?
No, because it's only at the beginning and it's like linear.
That makes sense.
God, I love being a gamer.
I love being a gamer.
Have you ever heard of this subreddit called Patient Gamers?
No.
It's fucking stupid. It's just... The point is that it's like... people who like... you know... play games slowly, I guess? Review them? Like, you know, the general culture is like, don't worry about your backlog, man, just play what you want to play. Whatever.
Which I think is stupid, because you should always just play things that you're obligated to play.
Which I think is stupid, because video games aren't a hobby. They're a skill.
And frankly, this is embarrassing.
But basically everything on there is like, I played The Witcher 3 15 years after it came out. It's not that revolutionary.
And it kind of sucks. Oh my gosh.
It's basically just unpopular opinion city.
We don't have enough sources of Reddit unpopular opinions. Make another, please.
Or just, it's either that or just like the most lukewarm, like, I played Portal and it was cool.
I don't think that the concept is bad. Can I, like, play the game, please? Why is this guy walking into the stairs forever? Oh my god. That was so bad. There.
Oh, also there's a third category where there's a shitload of posts where people are like, does anybody else always play on easy mode? Like they need validation before they can do it.
What if I got a fast clock item in Terraria, but it had like a... It was like a quick one, so it was like quick, fast, or like hasty, fast. That would be so funny. I should post this to Reddit. Oh my gosh, the BM was right next to the spawn point in the jungle. I'm posting this to Reddit. I feel like that's the genre of this.
Wait, what is the BM?
What?
Oh, the black market.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about... Yeah, no.
Which is to say, like, it's just some occurrence that happens decently often and is kind of unremarkable, but like the average person with 3 hours in the game is like, oh my gosh, this has never happened before. I don't say this with scorn, it's just I'm being real. You've upset it and you're gonna reprimand me.
Hey, why don't you turn to easy mode, you fucking game journalist?
Game journalist?
Oh, is that Sliver?
Hello.
You're on my stream, so be sure to talk about all your secrets of game design.
I was gonna screen share stuff, but can't do that while you're streaming.
Oh, I mean, I can stop if you want.
No, you're streaming.
Twirls there. I need to turn Sliver up.
Yeah, sorry. My microphone is silly.
I can't because he's at full volume.
Damn it. I'm working on the animations and art for when the silly guy is unconscious.
Well,
I'm implementing it in a very different way than Splunky, but I think it looks okay. I think it looks good.
well,
The same thing happens where if you like die at the top of the stage, you might like trickle down.
I see.
Because that movement is like really unpredictable and my animations are very schmoovy, I need to like add a lot of code for all these like stupid edge cases so that it looks good regardless of how you fall down. It's making me realize my art style might be a little time consuming to work with, but worth it.
Well, as long as you feel it's worth it.
Yeah, I can't have people looking at the game and being like, this was lazy.
I mean,
They're gonna do that
come on,
anyways.
pixel art? Ugh,
Yeah.
get a spine. Hire
That's why, like, I really want to do a lot with shaders so that people look at it and are like, okay.
Okay, I know what you said about bloom, but what if you just fill the screen with bloom? Just bloom everywhere.
Not bloom. I want to do like ray cast, not ray tracing, but like god rays in levels, and when you are in their light, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like, you know when there's a hard edge of light, there's like sometimes like a really saturated color right between the highlight and the shadows. Sorry, that was a lot of words. I basically want to do fancy stuff with shaders. That's basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm really hungry. I didn't eat food in the last 12 hours.
You stole my appetite. I wasn't that hungry. And now you're hungry? You make me sick.
I'm actually really hungry. Like starving.
Oh, you're hungry. Oh. Sorry. I'm being too cute. Jam can attest, I'm sure.
Can you attest?
I can examine that.
What's the verdict?
True.
Yeah, so cute.
100 grand.
100 what? Krona?
What?
I don't know what you said.
100 grand, like the candy.
I don't know that. Yeah.
I think they might have stopped making that like 20 years ago.
You're 46?
It's a chocolate bar that has like nuts in it.
Like half of them?
You know, like all of them.
I've got a new idea. What if I make a YouTube channel where I have like a little drawn like mascot who's wearing a tuxedo and I make anti-SJW videos?
I like that idea. The tuxedo really pulls it all together.
Yeah.
Would you be like atheist by any chance?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Oh, I forgot those. Period. You know what's hecking amazing?
What's hecking amazing?
My belly.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think.
What do you... Shrink?
Don't say it.
Don't say what?
Nothing.
What? Sliver, Jam just scared me. I think I'll replace her with you.
That's awesome.
Okay, glad to get some support for once.
Why is my code broke? Why is my code brokey?
Brookie.
This ain't doing nothing.
No, I have to actually get there. Ugh. This sucks. I have to play the game, get real. Sliver, you better finish your game. I want to play it.
You want to play it?
No! No! Sliver told you that was lying.
Okay.
Yeah, this camera works really well for this. This is great.
Now if you hit your head too hard, you pass out.
I think that's how real life works as well.
I'm trying to make the game, because like Splunky already has a lot of like highly interactive elements, but I want to like highlight it even more. I want players to feel invigorated.
Well, I'm a player and I like to feel big, so maybe you could focus on that. Specifically in a fat way.
I don't think you'll fit in my game. Out of scope.
Gosh. Jam's a little smaller than me. Will she fit?
No.
No?
Am I getting drafted?
Well, apparently not, because you wouldn't fit. You're supposed to blush about it, you know.
Blushing doesn't make a sound.
Are you claiming that you're blushing?
What if when you blushed it just made like a microwave hum?
That's probably how it works for Kid, I guess.
That's kind of neat.
Go message them about it, or you could note it down and ask during the co-open discussion.
True.
Because it's not actually supposed to be like strictly about co-open, I think.
What else is it about?
Billy.
Politics?
Billy. Technically politics, yes.
Hey, the decompilation of Mario Party 4 is really close to being done.
I see.
The physics in the game, I think, is going to be a lot bouncier. Like, I think if you throw a rock at an enemy, the rock's going to bounce off the enemy, not just, like, go straight through it.
I support that.
I appreciate that you support that. I want to voice all these things that feel intuitive to me so that somebody is going to be like, ooh, actually, as somebody who plays Spelunky, that's going to be really bad. But, you know what? I play Spelunky.
See, the thing is that, who cares about playing Spelunky? That's my opinion.
I'm curious if the knockback from enemy attacks, or like attacking enemies, like the player getting knocked back, is going to feel good or not.
It depends on how good it feels.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work to make it feel really good.
Sorry, that was meant to be meaningless.
No, I got the joke. I understood.
I just redoubled your anxieties. I'm sorry. Sliver, do I sound sick right now?
A little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I could notice. I wasn't gonna be like, you sound hideous. Because you don't sound hideous. You just sound just a little sick.
Would you say that though? Did I sound hideous?
No.
Oh. Then what do I sound like?
No. Just a little sick.
What would you say that though? That I sound hideous?
No.
I don't get you.
Oh, that's the guy who made Metal Gear Solid.
No, I'm the guy who made the Jeffy game.
He's the guy who made the Jeffy game.
No, you're not hideous, Kojima. You're
Kojima,
sugar.
you're really pretty.
Is my name still Shivercold? No. Okay.
No, I just remembered it. I put it in the vault.
Put it in the vault. Silver gold. Silver and gold.
Sliver gold.
Sliver void. My least favorite thing is implementing crouching and then handling the edge cases where you don't have room to uncrouch.
The big catch tackle box just makes it so you just stay crouched and you have to like slide out.
That's probably what I'll have to do. Thinking about it, the game doesn't necessarily need to like stay on the grid. I could have quarter tiles if it means interesting gameplay.
More naturalistic terrain could be cool, but maybe that would be like a scope nightmare.
Well, not only is it a scope nightmare, I think also the levels do need to remain really readable and intuitive. And having hard edges does help with that. But maybe slopes?
Yeah, I was
Maybe
thinking like
slopes.
Mario 3 slopes kind of stuff, not like truly naturalistic.
Yeah.
I probably should have chosen a different word in hindsight.
No, I got it. I understand now. I'm curious how that would be.
This is the
I would
dumbest
say
way to do this.
it probably adds a lot of work programming-wise for not a lot of gameplay gain. Like, there's already so much movement in the game that I hope is going to be really satisfying and differentiated from Splunky, that slopes don't feel that necessary.
Well, look at it this way. It's a lot of work for not a lot of weight gain. To gain weight, so at least for some, sigh. So think about that.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. What's your conclusion?
I don't. I need to not be lazy. I'm starting to be like, okay, well, I need to create a new animation. I'm just gonna, like, hack together an animation using already existing code. Like the get up animation is just the crouch animation with a little jump. It kind of looks good though. Maybe I don't need to think too hard about this.
I mean, it's also something that you could just go back and improve. Like it's okay to have animations not be like super effortful this early
First
on.
pass is the only pass. Alright. I have a clear vision of the game, and I'm just going to move forward like a train until it's done. Alright, no iteration. I'm lying. There will probably be a lot of iteration when it comes to the art of the game. So I need to be careful not to spend too much time. I mean, this player stuff is probably gonna stay. But I imagine I'm gonna, like, make an enemy and it's gonna look weird and I'm gonna be like, good enough, and then later be like, I can't believe I let this pass.
Can't believe I put this abomination in here.
I had an idea that in the first area, which I'm calling the garden, there's a passive turtle guy, and you bonk him, and he goes inside of his shell, and you can pick up the shell and throw it like Mario, and you could do a shell jump.
I see.
I feel like it would be silly to have a shell jump.
This is true.
I want players to look at it and be like, I bet I can do a shell jump, and then they try, and then it works. Or they bonk themselves in the face and then die. Which, the consequence of failing a shell jump compared to Mario is a lot funnier, because you might just get sent across the level and pachinko your way down. I actually really like that. That's good.
Well, it's on recording now, so
Oh,
you
good.
will remember.
I'm also thinking really hard about multiplayer, because if I want to do online multiplayer, I need to start early and program from the ground up with that in mind, and it will make development of the game slower. But if I don't do that, then it will be nearly impossible to add it later. So, it's sort of a You know what? This game needs to get finished. And I don't think it needs online multiplayer. I could easily do split screen multiplayer. And you know what? People can hang out in real life.
I'm saying.
Jam saying.
Did I tell you about my psychedelics idea for one of the areas?
Second what?
Psychedelics.
Oh.
I'm not going to go into too much detail because I kind of want to see your first impression of how I implement that. There's going to be a funny item you can eat.
How far off do you think showing me that is? Like, very
Forever.
rough estimate.
Forever from now.
It's never gonna happen. Damn.
Wait. Is this one? Ooh, weird.
Snooper.
That's me.
Go into your Discord settings. Tell me when you're there.
Yeah.
Voice and video. Scroll down a little bit. Is automatic gain control turned on?
Automatic gain control is turned on.
It is now, or it was?
It already was.
Okay. Alright, right click the speaker icon in the system tray.
Yeah.
Sounds.
Sounds.
Then go to the recording tab.
Recording tab.
Go to the properties of your microphone and then levels.
Levels. And I will pump this up.
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go back to like the position you were in before though, because you were already kind of louder, I think.
Oh. Huh?
This sounds good.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm putting it out a little bit, like right there. Is that good? Is that fine?
Yeah.
I think it also depends how clearly I speak into it.
Yeah, hello, Alloyd.
Oh yeah,
I will say that, like, my goal is that, like, Friday,
There it is.
I have level generation with enemies, even if they're just kind of like boxes.
It seems reasonable.
My hope is that by Wednesday, all of, like, the mechanics are there, like, throwing items or having, like, a shotgun or something. I'm thinking about how I want to do shops, because I mean, there's going to be score. I feel like shops are like a necessary thing. I don't want to copy paste Spelunky's shop stealing mechanics.
That makes sense.
I think I want the trade-off to be, I think if you rob a shop, then the remaining shops in the game remain empty. So it's sort of like you're losing out on potential items in the future to not have to pay right now. And I think that situationally, it will be better to steal or not steal, even for something like a score run. Because in a score run, buying a bomb and then using the bomb to get more money than you paid for the bomb might be better than stealing the bomb. And I'm not opposed to that decision being made.
Was that? What the fuck? Where you get that? Oh, there's a... Wow. What was I gonna say? Oh, gosh. How much of a punishment do you anticipate, like, the lack of shops being given the game's item system? Like the tool thing. The mobility.
Yeah. I think bombs will be a really important resource.
Maybe this might be too overpowered, maybe, but perhaps the shops, like if you have the whatever bomb item, the shops can just sell like ammo refills for it. Like all of them.
Yeah. I like the idea of shops doing refills on items that you currently have. That seems like a really good trade-off where it's like you don't want to steal from shops.
Oh yeah, I guess it could be any type of ammo.
Yeah.
I'm such a good designer.
Yeah, and I think there will be a lot of items in the game that are very powerful, and I kind of want to make them feel special. Particularly the better mobility items. I'm thinking about the placement of the grappling hook. The grappling hook might be a little bit too overpowered to be like the mobility item for like just kind of like something you can guaranteed get each run. I think forcing players regularly to like just use things in their environment is kind of what I want the first few zones of the game to feel like.
Okay. Also, I think it's a joke suggestion, question mark, but Alloyd in my chats says copy Skyrim's shop stealing mechanics. If they don't see you, it's not stealing. No object permanence.
Oh. That's silly. I wonder how... I'm gonna take note on that. That's a really good idea. I don't know how you would obscure the shopkeepers, but I'll think about it.
I feel like that would just become like Spelunky HD. There's no reason to not rob shops kind of dominant strategy.
Yeah.
If you could just do it with no consequence.
I think the dominant strategy is probably going to be... rob shops, but not kill the shopkeeper. Because I think like what I'm going to do is if you kill the shopkeeper, he's gone for the rest of the run. And so are all of the items in the shops. But the middle ground is you steal, not kill the shopkeeper. See, no, that just doesn't sound fun. Whatever system I come up with, I want it to be at least like equal to or more fun than Splunky's shops, which are really good. What are some of the weaknesses you would say of Spelunky HD or 2's shop system?
I just gave one, the dominant strategy.
Yeah, you kind of just always steal. I like Spelunky 2's escalation of the shops, but it doesn't quite happen super often, where it's like if you keep stealing and killing shopkeepers, the like shopkeeper tiles show up.
Yeah.
I like that in principle. I think that that's a good Derek U idea.
Certified good Derek idea.
I assume chat has picked up that I'm making a game a lot like Spelunky.
The only person here, or at least who has said anything, is Alloyd. And yeah, please answer, Kit. Also, they verified that the Skyrim thing was a joke.
Honestly, though, I think that if there are items that feel like it would do that task, I might actually do that. I'm trying to think. Right now, there's no items that are like that.
Invisibility device.
Right. I was thinking of like the squid ink from the that one aquatic place in Spelunky 2. Where
Typhoon?
if the extremely specific circumstance of an enemy inking the shopkeeper, you can steal without them knowing.
I didn't know about that.
No, I'm saying that like that's what I would do.
Oh. Damn. Disappointed by Spelunky 2 once again.
I just don't have a good shop system alternative, you know? I think maybe, I think doing something like Spelunky, where, like, shopkeeper gets mad, comes after you, though I don't necessarily want them to just show up at the end of every level. I kind of just want it to be like, if you are near shops, they are hostile. But instead create a stronger incentive to use the shops. I'm thinking maybe if you use the shops, the next time you see a shop, the quality of the items gets better each time. Isn't there something kind of like that in Spelunky?
I don't think so, unless you're thinking of like discounts for buying all of their items in Spelunky 2.
Yeah. How does the Spelunky discount thing work?
If you buy all the items in one of the shops, you just get a discount forever, I think.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just strong incentives to use the shops more. Specifically use the shops on runs where you're getting a lot of money. And this is mostly for like your casual playthroughs, not like your speed runs or score runs.
Wow, thank God it doesn't throw you out of the level for that.
Yeah, I know. It's a very good change. Whoa. What? How did that happen? This isn't a ledge grab. What? Huh? What happened last time?
What?
Well, I like long jumped towards the ledge and we just fell past. It is nearby. Oh, okay.
Question.
What?
Does anybody here have any large amount of time in Slay the Spire?
No.
Chocolate
I did
guys.
Balatro.
I played Slay the Spire for like 30 hours and like I was like having fun and then I hit my like 30th run or whatever and I was like, wait a minute, every run is the same, and then I stopped playing forever.
That's called a roguelike.
Well, to the point where I thought my game was bugged because I was seeing the same enemies in the same order every run, it felt like. It was so funny how quickly I switched from like, this is kind of a cool game to fuck this game, it sucks.
That's crazy.
Roguelikes.
People love Slay the Spire.
Apparently it's Northern Lion's favorite game, what an idiot.
How do I get
I'm
it?
sorry, I didn't mean that, I'm just being inflammatory.
Jamatory.
I think my first exposure to roguelikes was my brother played FTL around when it came out and hated it. And I was like, okay. And that was the end.
You claim to be a bird, but you're a sheep. Every time Derek says game bad, you're like, okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So
I was like -2. Am I just gonna be like, I'm gonna show you how it's done?
yeah. -2. When did that game release?
1988, I at the height of the Cold War.
Damn, I'm older than that. This is not how you're supposed to get this. What am I doing? It didn't even work.
I kind of do feel like I'm done with roguelikes.
Yeah. Except slivers.
I have like
Yeah,
a
you gotta play my
hilarious. Well, yeah, obviously. I'll play like one that is actually good, maybe.
Yeah. So like mine.
Yeah. I have like a hilariously bad attitude going into roguelikes nowadays.
Oh.
Where I'll lose my first run because of course you do, because it's a roguelike, and I'm like, whatever, freaking bullshit. I'm like, what? Yeah.
I decided that there's like a very specific tone that I want to achieve with the aesthetic of my game. Because I think that there's a little bit of a disconnect, in my mind, between the gameplay of Splunky and then the themes and atmosphere of Splunky. I think like Derek Yu has talked about how like Splunky it's a game about community and, you know, trying your best and laughing off each death.
You want people to cry off each death.
But I think people who actually play the game do get really frustrated, especially those who aren't good at it. So I kind of want to lean into that with the themes of the game. I want, like, because the game is going to be so much more based on its mystery than Splunky is, that I kind of want the experience of the game to be like, the game itself is kind of taunting you by dangling this mystery in your face, and then trying to solve the mystery, the feeling of kind of like getting kicked down, and hopefully, on the contrary, it feels really rewarding when you finally kind of beat the game. Or not beat the game, but, you know, answer one of these questions you've been asking. It feels sort of rewarding. Kind of inspired by Thumper, because that's a game that kind of like spits in your face. I've talked about Thumper probably at large with you, Kiwi. But I really like the feeling of that game and how it spits in your face. Because then the game lets you spit in its face when you're winning. And I think that that is something I want for this game. To like really not necessarily it be like, oh, good job when you do a good job, but more like cathartic where it's like, F you game, I did it. Because I like that feeling.
That's a little bit La Mulanian.
I was gonna say that too, actually.
See, I haven't played La Mulana, so I don't know anything about La Mulana.
The game where like you and the game take turns beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah. I wonder how I can communicate with like the structure of Splunky, how to let you beat the game up. How do you spit in the game's face?
My vote is that the answer is not get a god tier run that plays itself and is deathly fucking boring.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The Isaac
Like
approach.
the way you spit in Thumper's face, is when the game just kind of like feels angry at you when you're doing well, so then the game gets more difficult to accommodate for you getting better, and the spitting in the face is handling the game trying to kick you down. It's like you're trying your best and it's not working.
I feel like the idea, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say.
You can talk about it.
I feel like the concept of the metal puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
lends itself well to that, probably.
Actually, you're kind of right, because what I want to do... I've already answered this question, just unintentionally with previous design. The way that the game generates you new levels, or generates you new sort of like randomizers each time you beat it, or you do like the true ending. The way that it generates the randomizers is based off of what you do in the run. And I imagine players are like, is low percent pacifist even possible, right? And then when they finally do it, they're getting a unique randomizer seed for that very specific thing that they've done. And I think that could be really rewarding for like tasks that kind of feel like the game is like, this is probably impossible. But I'm curious how you interpreted the metal puzzles, so potentially leading to answers to that question.
I mean, for me, it's just like the game's trying to mess with you, but or like it's trying to fuck you over, but there's this like, there are these larger sort of things that you're gradually piecing together. And sort of figuring out its little secrets, I guess. And that to me just like, that's compelling enough that I'm just down for that. I don't know.
Yeah, you know the door in Splunky 1, I guess both Splunkies, where it has like the gemstones fill out as you like complete the game and then do the hell run and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's going to be an equivalent to that in my game, where the game is going to kind of put a lot of emphasis on that, and the puzzle being how you complete it. It's not going to be like collecting gemstones like Splunky. It's going to be opening these doors. But I think it'll be really rewarding to finally open the door. And I think it just comes down to like the audio and visual design of when you complete these tasks. Instead of like cheerful music, instead the game kind of crying. I don't know how else to put it.
Interesting.
But that's how I feel about like Hyper Light Drifter's aesthetic. Is that the game just kind of like cries. That's a very somber game. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's almost painful for the world for you to be making progress in it.
Huh.
I think that is an evocative atmosphere for the game. And I think that for some reason in my head, the knowledge that like the game feels pain, not literally, but you know what I mean, just sort of vibes-wise. The knowledge that the game feels pain when you succeed, and that also the game is simultaneously being really mean to you, is kind of a driving force compared to Splunky's like, go get 'em attitude.
I think
more
for
human.
me that would be a repellent, because that just sounds like kind of dire.
My game might not be tailored to you. But like I say, I don't think the world is actually going to be sentient in any meaningful way. This is just how I'm thinking about the audio visual design.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Wait, did you see the bot name?
What?
Bot's name was Circular Flirty.
Blush. Also, Alloyd's recommendation for if you want to design your own roguelike/light is that you should play Rogue.
What?
Rogue with a B on the front, on the belly.
Rogue. I've not heard of that.
I think I have vaguely heard of it, but I've never looked at it. I don't know what it is.
Is it like
I'm gonna try
a
it.
traditional roguelike? Because that's the pictures I'm seeing when I look it up.
Probably, if that's what you're seeing when you look it up.
The README opens in WordPad.
Ew. Can't
What's
do
wrong
that.
with WordPad, you jerk?
I just like it's open source software is just better than WordPad.
Actually, what's under the impression that WordPad was removed from Windows?
I don't see why anyone would ever really use it, to be honest.
It's like a word processor, but it uses the ribbon.
Wait, isn't that just Microsoft Word?
No.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, actually, no, because it has less stuff than Microsoft Word. Check me. It's
just
better
dis-
game design when there's less buttons, okay?
I just discovered that those like overhang jumps are possible in my game. They're not too hard to do.
what?
Definitely a skill thing though.
This
I'm
is
not
referring to
nailing each time.
colloquial stupid jumps.
Yeah, stupid jumps.
Okay.
Should I remove stupid jumps? Should I just make them impossible?
I don't know. How would you do that?
Just tweak numbers.
Would it mess up how the game feels?
I think that the art of making a good platformer is not just seeing how it feels to jump around in an empty room, but try every combination of tiles and then tweak the numbers specifically catered towards like the size of the voxels in the game. And this would be one of those scenarios where it's like, yeah, the movement might change a little bit, but there's behavior that I want. No, I'm fine with the edge jumps. Stupid jumps.
As long as they're like not that difficult to do, but yeah. I think it's
Yeah, I mean, you have
probably
like
fine.
a 7-frame coyote jump, and I think you only need to do it in like the last couple frames. I don't think it's like the last frame specifically.
I mean, that sounds pretty precise.
It's not too bad.
Slurp.
I'm doing about 1 in every 4 tries.
Yes, that's not so bad.
Okay, I just got like 3 in a row. I'm sure somebody a lot better at video games than me will have no problem doing those consistently. As long as there isn't stupid like subpixel problems.
You store in position as a float.
I say subpixel, but this game isn't really on a pixel grid.
It's not.
No. The art is pixel, but everything is stored as floats and drawn at whatever location the float is at.
I'm shaking my head disapprovingly.
It makes for really good feeling movement though, because then I have like really fine control over like exact values of like speeds and jumps and stuff.
I know.
And
I just floats. Grr.
Though every time you touch a wall, it does like correctly align you to the units.
I would hope so.
I mean, that's not a guarantee.
Yeah, I don't think Spelunky HD does that.
Really?
Launch that game and just like run into a wall. Just keep holding towards the wall. and like watch the player wiggle.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, any collision in the game rounds your position to the nearest, like... I think it is, like, whole pixel, I'm talking about collisions against solids.
What about liquids?
I'm still thinking about how
Collisions against liquids.
I'm gonna spend like a whole day, sorry, probably a whole week implementing liquids. Because there's gonna be liquids. The swimming is gonna be completely different than in Splunky. I think by default you float on top of water.
You have to get the anchor to sink.
No, it's just like a specific input. And then I want the water movement to be really fast. In fluid. Because nobody likes slow water levels. And I think I mentioned this before, but I want like stuff in water to be really obscured, and when you're in water, things that aren't in water are obscured.
Oh.
I don't know why that feels very visceral to me, and matches how I feel like actually being in water is like.
That's kind of neat. Also, I don't think you did mention that.
Well, I've been thinking about it for a while.
One of my infinite million viewers is gonna watch this and steal all your ideas.
Probably.
All my viewers. They're gonna make a game before you do.
We're gonna have to burn all the footage of me talking about the post game so that people don't know. I'm joking. I don't think anyone will ever find this VOD and know that I am the developer of the game that they're playing.
On another note, I think I'm a little disapproving of the working title, or just the title.
Yeah?
In that I think that one word / name titles tend to be kind of lame. In this case, it's like, I think it's pretty obvious who it's based on. So unlike La Mulana, which is like a completely original name, which kind of makes it fine, this is like...
Yeah.
You know?
I don't even know what I would call this game. It needs to be good. Like, it needs to be really good. I like Turing visually. I like how it looks spelt. It matches the tone, but I don't... You're not the first person to mention that it's not the strongest title. So I'm gonna have to sit on this for a while.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I will take name suggestions.
It's putting all those ideas in the AAA game that they work on right now. You're being stealed from. Also,
that's awesome.
If I think of titles, which is probably unlikely, I will supply them.
Thank you. I'm not good with... Honestly, I feel okay about naming things. Just this game is very specific. And I feel like it's gonna just, like... Something external is gonna have to happen to lead to the title being made. Like, I've thought about it for a really long time, and none of my ideas are very good.
How about A Day in Perpetual Winter?
A Day in Perpetual Winter is not relevant to the contents of my game whatsoever.
Well, it wasn't to the story that I wrote with that title either.
Oh.
It just kind of sounded nice and fit the vibe. So I was like, yeah.
I'm playing Brogue.
Bro.
It's kind of fun.
Is this your new favorite game since Tactical Nexus?
Dude, I'm actually having... Like, I uninstalled that game, but every so often I'm like, I should play that again.
Uh-oh.
I just want to see the numbers go up, I don't know.
That's what Balatro, that... How the fuck do you pronounce that, dude?
Balatron.
That's what it does to people.
Didn't do that to me. I played it for like 45 minutes and then
No, you didn't.
never played it again.
No, you didn't.
You're right, you got me. I've made Balatro.
I have a pretty strong reservation about the title, in that it has to have one of these round sounds, like ta, ba, ra. And that's the only thing I know about the title. Not belly, but ba.
Turing belly.
I feel like
Belly of Turing.
I want to avoid like of, or maybe
Temple of Nowhere. Temple of
Nowhere is a good name.
Thank you. How come?
It's very like I've heard it so many times now. It like just kind of like sounds like something that like is like a popular piece of media.
Interesting.
Or like there's definitely names where like it doesn't matter how many times I hear it, it's like, yeah, that's a silly name.
Temple of Nowhere is not a silly name.
No, it's a good name. I feel like the title having like revolving maybe works with the themes of the setting. I don't know. I need to like word soup this. Just like find a million words that I like that fit the vibe and then connect dots.
I see.
You can hit an enemy off of a cliff.
Where is this belly?
This is a really funny interaction. I kind of like this. I don't know what enemy would have these properties, but... Oh, I can't screen... if I screen share, would you be able to see her now? Even if it leaves out on your... Even if you can't see.
I would try. It might kill my internet, but... I don't care. The stream will be back in like a minute or something. Look after I get this star.
No rush.
I got this star.
This is a particularly interesting... This is another...
I can see.
You can see. If you just like knock this enemy off the side and then fall off, you can like cancel your momentum by landing on it. Like
that is cool.
Yeah, opposed to not landing on it, it kind of just bounces. Yeah, and you see like the like knockback on attacking things.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight does that, and it feels really good in Hollow Knight. But I don't know if it's right for this. Like especially like this, kind of being like, does that feel bad? I don't know. Oh, also, you die.
I think that people would definitely complain and cry about that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it's not fair. But I don't think that means much necessarily. Why does it become blue?
Oh, that's just like I don't have a script for the holding animations, so it just displays hitbox.
Interesting.
I
But
think it like
implications for how this is programmed. What?
I think it's really satisfying to hit things when moving in them. Like, that feels really good. To me. It creates a feeling that I like. But this does not feel good. Like, especially like off of the cliff. Yeah, anyways.
I'd say probably just keep it the same for a while. And see if you persistently feel like you dislike it, or if you just naturally come to run at things and hit them to circumvent it or something. Like,
Yeah.
I guess this probably goes without saying, but yeah, just, I don't know. If I were doing this, I would just try to be attentive to my behavior and wait a
Yeah.
while.
Another thing is that, like, knocked... by the way, knocked is the term I'm using for, like, things that are down, like knocked out. I think a lot of, like, how the enemies are going to be designed is that, like, knocked enemies, if they're not dead, can't be picked up. Or more that they do damage to you, until you kill them. I don't know. I'll need to see how that feels.
Okay.
Anyways, I'll get your playtesting one day.
Blush.
Yeah, I think the, like, knocking enemies off of cliffs and just following them down to kill any momentum works and is cool.
I died. I got smothered by jelly.
Just like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
What if I got smothered by jam? You smothered by jelly and you smother my jam. I just like I don't know.
Why would you even want that? It's not like you've ever seen my belly before.
Lever.
Yeah.
Hi.
My worst nightmare, and I don't have good programming solutions to this, is the, like, 1 out of 10 times I do, like, the enemy falling thing. The enemy hits me in a very specific way that it does damage instead of bouncing me.
I assume you are not doing like pixel by pixel collision for the player character.
No. It's what's happening is you're falling with so much velocity that the frame after you bounce off the enemy, you're still inside of the enemy. Which
Wait,
then cancels your bounce and then does damage.
Why would that be a result of high velocity?
Because when the thing bounces upwards, its upward velocity is higher than your velocity jumping off of it.
Oh.
So there's just like a frame where you're still inside of it.
I see.
I think I circumvent this by adding the player's velocity in addition to whatever base velocity I'm doing this. Yeah.
To like the enemy knockback?
Oh, that actually was going to cause a really funny reaction where, because you land with more velocity, it makes the enemy fall down at a higher velocity, so then it bounces off the ground at the high velocity and then comes back up, and it'd be like a... you just bounce really, really quick. Okay, yeah, I think I just need to add the enemy's velocity to the player, yeah.
You could also like just make it a quick like iframe thing. Like you can't bounce on the enemy or like interact with the enemy for 2 frames after bouncing on it or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a better solution. You bounce off the enemy, it doesn't do damage for a wee bit.
Doesn't do damage.
Sam.
What? You're saying? This guy sang and...
Whoa.
This guy sang and... Sorry, unpopular opinion.
Not deal iframes. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out variables that I've made before. Deal damage amount. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a variable to Goomba-like enemies.
As in stompable ones?
Yeah, stompable. The internal abstract class for this type of enemy is Goomba for the code.
This guy's stompable.
Specifically, Goombas are stompable enemies that do soft damage horizontally, not like knocks you out damage.
Knocks you out damage.
I don't think any enemy in Spelunky knocks you out like that just by touching its side. Definitely not something I would say that is against. Like, it makes sense there might be an enemy that, like, has a very strong punch.
I think some stuff in Spelunky 2, like...
I can't recall.
I feel like if you walk into a bubble or something from, like, Tiamat...
Oh. That's
or no,
weird.
I'm thinking of the Cosmic Ocean bubbles.
Oh.
Those knock you out. And they don't do
obscure.
damage. That's too obscure. No one's even been in the Cosmic Ocean.
I'll make like an enemy that punches you in the face and makes you knocked out. I want to add an item that's just one of those like wind up like boxing gloves. Like it's just like a boxing glove at the end of a spring. You just bounce things. I don't think that would actually be in the game, but I want to do that just for debug.
For
Just gonna
debug,
put it in.
you say,
For debug.
as the jump counter goes above 70.
75.
Whatever.
Oh man. There's got to be a deathmatch mode too. That's just like a requirement. Maybe as an update, but like it's got to be in there.
What do you think? Jam. I meant to say Jam, not Sliver. I almost said Sliver. What do you think?
I fucking loved Deathmatch in Spelunky.
I fucking love customers. Sorry,
What is that from?
that's from the Wind Waker rewritten.
Oh. That's funny. Oh man. No, I have so much time in Spelunky Deathmatch. Specifically, me and my friend had this very, very, very specific setup that was so perfect that we probably have like 500 hours in like just that single stage and item setup.
It's obviously the boulder one.
It's the boulder one. We would have 2 bombs. The ropes didn't really matter. We just picked like a random amount each time. I don't think we all the items. We wouldn't disable items. But the specific like 2 bombs on that map is special. Specifically because you can just cook the bomb and throw it, and if you do it right, you can just like really, really quickly kill your opponent because of the boulder mechanics. And then you can counter it by like, if there's like a really optimal bomb strategy, then you just place a bomb where the boulder will land when your opponent does that, and then it bounces back at them. It was perfect. Honestly, I feel like I could make like an entire deathmatch game built around the boulder mechanic from Spelunky.
I actually don't remember the boulder map.
It's just got a line of spikes at the bottom and a boulder in the middle.
Is
So
it-
if
it's a
you set off
minus
the
one?
boulder, yeah, if you set off the boulder, it like destroys a lot of tiles. So the longer the stage goes on, the less room there is to move. And then inevitably, there's a lot of scenarios where you and your opponent get stuck on opposite sides of the stage. Which in that scenario, you can rope down to the spikes or wait for like a jetpack to spawn. Oh yeah, and we disabled the stupid alien and like the timer thing. It's like you gotta have that off. And you'd have matches that last like 5 minutes. Not that like nothing was happening, just that we're goated. I don't know, everything was just perfect. It all lined up perfect. The teleporter was extremely useful because you can reliably get down to the spike layer without letting your opponent throw a bomb and knock you out. And then that was the other thing, is that like, if you had an opportunity to throw a rope or a bomb in such a way that it knocks out your opponent, since there's like a line of spikes at the bottom of the level, it almost certainly kills them. Spunky Deathmatch is really good.
Did you ever really do Spelunky 2 Arena?
Me and him tried. The lack of a level with a bunch of spikes at the bottom and like interesting stuff going on as well regarding like the boulder made it difficult. Though I did toy around with the deathmatch level editor and I made a whole bunch of variants of the boulder level that all fundamentally are similar. But different.
The HD one? Or is there a Spelunky 2 one?
Oh, I didn't even think about it, but a level editor for this game could go kind of hard as like DLC. I mean, just like an update. Wait, what question?
Deathmatch editor Spelunky 1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
I think I answered it, my mic didn't pick it up.
Maybe.
I was saying something. Oh yeah, level editor as an update would be nice for Turing.
Sliver, would you dare open my chat?
If you link it so I don't have to dig. Actually, I think it's in your bio.
It should say
No,
that
I
I'm
meant-
like streaming, I think.
Yeah,
Unless
no. I'm in here. I don't think I've ever played Spunky Deathmatch. Wow.
Wow. I'm looking down on you because you're below me. Like, spatially.
I mostly played it with my friends when I was like 12, so I was too bad at the game to have unlocked all the arenas.
Did you say unlocked?
Yeah.
What happened? Why are you so afraid, kid?
Like that. You should do that a lot,
You should?
Way ahead of you.
both of you.
Woo.
Can bounce equals false.
You can use
but
this
also
door as a
can't
shortcut to Silence and Deathwind once you got 161 blue stars. The blue stars there won't show up earlier than that anyway. Same with Farewell.
There's multiple colors of stars. Ugh.
Ugh.
What is this Xenogears? Ugh.
Ugh.
Ugh. Grug.
Oh my
What's grug?
What is grug? You know, that's sort of a question we all ask ourselves.
Alright, that's it. My bird's angry.
Okay. What? Why is there a bird?
Jam is a bird. What the fuck, Sliver? Can't
Oh.
say that.
Sorry, I'm just, speciesist.
Damn. So Carl hates women, and you hate birds.
Species.
Actually, I kind of love birds. Actually, I'm a lovebird.
Jam is smitten.
I want to put up a bird feeder.
We're putting one in my backyard, and it's gonna be awesome.
Sweet.
Do I qualify as one? Oh,
As a what?
oh, you know. You're welcome for the answer.
Are you saying you want to get in on the feed?
No, I'm saying that
Live
you're
feed.
fat.
My bird feeder live streams to Twitch, actually.
My bird feeder's a VTuber.
I don't know how sustainable my programming practices are gonna be,
Also,
but like, I don't know how else to do it. Every time there's a bug, my my object class gets another several variables.
huh.
It's just like, I'm gonna be honest, making, like, this is how I do things. I am like, okay, I'm gonna make the player script. I'm gonna do it in a way that, like, once I'm done with the player script, I don't need to touch it again. Like, other parts of the game that interact with the player will do it through some interface design. Then I design it really messily and quickly and hastily. Then I look for bugs and then do the equivalent of patch over the bugs, which sometimes involves the creation of kind of redundant variables. That just like check for specific conditions and slightly change how things behave in those conditions. I like that method because it means that I get like really nice gameplay relatively quickly. And then if I do it right, I never need to look at that code ever again. But then sometimes I need to look at the code again, you know?
I see. How much do you comment at least?
For really important stuff, if I showed you my player movement code, it's very neatly commented. But for like the drawing of the player character, it's extremely messy. But that's because if I broke everything down, there would be so much code that it would become hard to work with. Honestly, keeping everything in like strange Frankenstein lines of code is neater to me for some reason. But also
You mean, like,
that's because
massive lines with like 50.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like massive lines where it's like, yes, I could break each one of the logical components of this variable into like separate lines so you can see how it all comes together.
I mean,
Or-
that's the same for my character
Yeah.
controller stuff in Temple of Nowhere.
Yeah. Or even just any controller for that matter. I try to keep things nice and commented. But for drawing specifically, animation, go ahead and delete all of the drawing code and then do it again from scratch at any time, and it isn't that much of a time commitment.
I see.
So it makes sense not to put too much work into that and just kind of let it change over time. And that's just because when I'm making animations, it's extremely iterative, and if I made it neat every time, it would take twice as long or more.
I think I understood everything you said, but, Jan, was Sliver also going funny mode for you?
Yeah, a little.
Okay.
Silly.
Yeah, I guess your internet was bloofing out.
I'm bloof.
Bloofing typees? What?
Is this Gobi Desert?
What?
Ripoff?
What?
Is this Gobi Desert from Banjo Tooie?
This is Shifting Sandland.
Is this Takashi Iizuka's Banjo Kazooie?
Am I dying?
Am I Banjo Kazooie?
Am I missing something?
If H input equals 1? No. Whew. I almost got rid of code that was important.
Is that actually how you're supposed to get that?
I mean, there might be a wing cap. I don't know. I'm kind of at the point where my brain is turned off.
It's so Kaizo, bro.
It's so chizo.
Man, my player script is getting long. And it's gonna be really long before I'm done. Should probably break things into functions and stuff. I'll do that when it's done.
By player script, what do you mean?
I mean the step event on OBJ player.
Figured. How many lines is it?
Let's see right now. 314, which is pi digits. I've definitely had longer. I think the step event in the main player controller for getting goopy is like easily over 500.
Okay, so you feel like 300 is getting on the long end.
300 is getting in the long end for anything other than a player controller. For a player controller, I think all of my player controllers, when they're done, are like 500 lines of code.
I see.
So like a long player controller would be like 1,000 lines of code. I'm actually gonna look at the goopy. I want to see what it is. File open. Getting goopy.
I'm opening up my Temple of Nowhere project to see how many lines mine is. The thing is that I don't have any, like... There's still stuff I'm missing from it. Like, I need to put in usable items that you, like, place into a wall or whatever. And, like... really some other stuff as well. This is taking forever to open.
The goopy player controller isn't that long. I think I was thinking of something else. It's about 400 lines of code. This is just like moving and getting goopy.
I see. I don't know how to, like, organize code, I think.
Me neither.
Like, how to avoid... Oh, it's only 598 lines. I thought it was way more. Yeah, damn.
That's a lot. I mean, that's more than Turing. Right now, at least.
I mean, yeah, but you know, for example, there's a 13-line stretch that's just like an array of like precise collision spots on the player, and the only purpose of that is handling raindrops.
Yeah. I usually have stuff like that in the create event.
Well, like this, I have to like, how would you, I mean, I guess you probably could do it a different way, but
I mean, whatever works.
technically this could also just be one line. I have it like expanded out for readability.
Yeah.
I don't think that this can actually go in the create event though, because every frame it has to do like this node is x position -10, y position -14. This one is x position -10, y position, just straight up.
I see. I see. They're like temporary variables.
Yeah.
I see.
Because I have to like check each and every one and see if like one of the zips should happen when like a specific combination of them are active versus inactive. Anyway. Yeah, if I had like
I'm realizing
attacks in here, it would probably be fucking billion. What?
I'm realizing that the code for the player controller is actually a lot larger than what I'm seeing here because I use functions to make the game behave how I want it to, which is actually like really good. If you haven't toyed around with functions yet, they're extremely powerful. Because I can just be like, here is code that outlines rock behavior. When this flag variable is on, use the rock behavior. And I could just do that on any enemy right now. I could like create literally any object and then just tell it to behave like a rock in specific circumstances, or like anything else in other circumstances. It's very nice.
I do like, I'm trying to use functions more, but I still don't have like a grasp on their use cases.
It's like a lot.
And like, specifically, I don't know how much like object stuff you can do with them without just passing like 1,000 variables into the function, which feels really dumb.
You don't need to pass things into the functions. So usually what I do is you need to have like pretty good hierarchy of your objects.
Well, okay,
like,
this is probably something we should talk about when I'm not.
You're right. Sorry. Yeah. But I can answer this. Those are very answerable questions.
Why
What
is
was a
there
really
shadow?
big... This shadow is mine, sorry. That's me.
What were you saying?
Honestly, this is stupid and technical and not necessary for me to talk about right now.
I want to hear it anyway.
I used a lot of functions. I think what stopped like Turing from working the last time I did it, the like top-down version, was I used a lot of functions to making the gameplay a lot easier. But it was done in a way where it was really hard for me to then animate objects because all of the code controlling the behavior of the object are in scripts where I might want to animate each object differently. And it requires information from within the functions. But I recently discovered the way to properly handle that. So I'm gonna put it to use here, so I can have the same game logic and then pass specific flags and variables to the animation and have that be object specific.
I see.
It's very nice. It means I can kind of just like stitch together pretty much any movement code I want in any objects, and then I have like a box moving around, and then I just like go into the draw event and then do my magic and have like a lot of ready to go variables to work with. Anyways, what do I implement now? I'm knocking quite a few things off the list that I made, but I had like a list of things that I thought would take not very long to do, and I've done one thing on that list. But that's because I'm kind of chipping away at all of them at once, so... okay. Player unconscious is working. I can... Actually, no, that's not done yet, because, the player when grabbed doesn't have any animations yet. Yeah, literally nothing on this list is done yet, and it's been 2 days. So, working player unconscious and player picking up animations. The ability to use items, like throw a rock or whatever, isn't in the game yet. Multi-directional punching. I want you to be able to punch up or down when you're in the air. Or down when you're in the air, but up whenever. So that's another thing. Then I want to create a few objects to utilize the features that I'm implementing right now. So like a shotgun, so that I can implement like a shotgun jump or whatever and see how that feels to program. I have a list of bugs that I found in playtesting. And then the more scary stuff, I need to create like a really advanced shader system to handle like wanting to draw a single object using multiple shaders, where it's like, oh, the shader controls a wobbly water effect, but then this one controls whether, you know, I can't come up with examples, but like shader stacking is like kind of difficult to implement.
What are the belly jiggles?
Yeah, big belly jiggles, and it's like, well, how do you make it so that it big belly jiggles and has the water waving effect at the same time? You have to write custom logic for that.
Alloy, do you have any input?
Yeah, I'm kind of just reading my to-do list right now to get focused. Honestly, if anyone has funny ideas, I love ideas. I should add the flip switch panels. For Mario.
The ones that I was just...
Yeah, those are the flip switch panels.
Oh my gosh. Is Game Maker weird?
I mean, Game Maker is weird, but I like it. And they've done updates to make it not less weird, but more capable of what most engines you can do. You can do a lot more now in the last year than you could before. But then also, people write a lot of really good scripts that I can find online. Like, there is no built-in way to reorder the draw order of objects on the same layer, where it's like, it just strictly uses the instance order to determine what draws on top and what draws on bottom. And sometimes you want that to be different. So I looked online and somebody just like made a bunch of functions to use that do it for me, and I was like, nice.
It probably should just be like default behavior.
Well, I wanted to very specifically implement it so that every time you picked up an item and placed it down, it draws it on top. Which is how it works in Splunky, yeah. Oh. Alloyd, the reason why it's like that is because functions in Game Maker are actually kind of not relatively new, but like you don't really use functions when you're learning Game Maker for the first time. It's not very necessary. So my 10 years of Game Maker experience, I just don't really use functions all that often. And functions in Game Maker behave really weird. Like, they're very different than other languages, and you could do really strange things with them. Well, this is like other languages, but it's not like what I was used to in like Unity and other game engines, which is that you can define a function and then store it as a variable, and then from another object read the variable that stores the function on the other object. And with that, I did something like this with the other prototype for Turing. It meant that I was able to like make I think I made like a little test gun mechanic that whatever you shoot, it steals the behavior of that object and then gives the player that behavior. And then I don't need to like custom implement this for every item in the game or every object in the game. I can just like design new enemies and then use the funny function and variable trick to, I don't know. I can't speak. This is too advanced of a concept to use words. This is a visual example, not a word example. Anyways, functions are weird in Game Maker. I guess to answer that question simply, what would be a lot of different things in another programming language, like the difference between like a method and a function. In Game Maker, it's just like all the same thing called scripts, which like no other language really does it like that. It's silly. You fell off.
Shut up.
You can also store functions in functions, which is really weird. I was doing weird stuff with that to make it work with something else. I don't know. Nothing I'm gonna say is coherent because now I'm talking about technical stuff that you guys weren't involved with. Anyways, game design, that's fun. There should be a balloon. That's it. That's all I've got.
There should be a balloon.
There should be a balloon.
I think the whole reason I use Game Maker as like the main thing that I use is because I started learning it when I was like 8, and it just spiraled out of control from there.
Yeah. That's kind of my situation too. Not when I was 8 though. I think I started when I was 15. No, it was 2015, so I was like 13. No, 14.
No, 12.
No, 12.
I remember when Studio 2 first came out, I thought it was bullshit solely because you couldn't, in an event, put multiple, like, execute a block of code events. Or in an act, I don't know.
Interesting. There's a update coming to Game Maker that it's gonna get rid of the stupid like workspace panels, and just like your create and step events are all just gonna be like a page of code.
Yeah, me and Jam already turned the beta on for that like a couple days ago.
I have not.
Workspaces still exist though.
Yeah.
Are they saying they're actually just going to totally remove that?
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta get used to the new stuff before it catches up with me.
I don't think it's really that big of a change.
Yeah, probably not. There is a couple things that I like about workspaces. I like that I can middle click a function I've wrote and then have it on like the same screen right next to the like workspace that I'm currently working in. But whatever.
I wonder which of you is better at Gaming Maker.
I don't think.
Probably
I
him
think
because
that-
he's actually released a game.
The Jeffy game.
The Jeffy game. I don't know. There's a weird caveat to saying I'm good at programming, which is that I'm not.
Well, maybe
I'm good at-
neither of you are. I don't know.
I was gonna say.
It's about who's better.
I'm not good at programming. I'm good at making choices that lead to a good game, I think, is what I'm good at. And if people looked at my code, they would cry, probably. But that's okay, because nobody has to look at my code unless I'm working on a team. But that's okay, because I'm never going to work on a team.
If I had more time, like I was tempted to say like if like okay, if I had more time, I would probably offer to go through like your little extra variable solutions to bugs and try and like fix them without doing that. But like it's not feasible because I don't have infinite time, but the impulse is there.
I mean, I end up with a product that works, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, but you were saying you worried it would implode.
Oh, I know how to solve these problems. I just need to rewrite my code from the ground up now that I know the problems that came up with the way I tried to do it. Which is like, this is like the third Splunky-like platforming engine I've wrote. And
see Jam. I told you he's doing this all the time.
oh, that's funny. What was I saying? Yeah, just like I learn a lot each time, and hopefully I've learned enough to actually finish and not be like, all right, from the ground up again. Like, this feels nice. I implemented pausing immediately. Like, I remember for getting Goopy, since it was for a game jam, it was like we were done with the game. We were like, we need to add a pause button, and then we were like, there is absolutely no infrastructure for a pause in this game. There's just like no way to stop the movement of objects, and we were like, all right, well, we're gonna figure this out. And then we have to comb through like every single event and then add a little like, if global variable true, like exit the game, or not exit the game, exit the event.
What? Calm down. Fucking hell.
And there was a lot of bugs, and I think in the version of the game that is in the game jam, timed buttons still tick down when the game is paused, and a handful of animations still play while the game is paused. Which is bad.
Yeah.
But nobody noticed or cared, and honestly, there's stuff like that in like AAA games, so
Alloy,
I can
take it away.
Hmm?
You mentioned their domain.
Oh. AAA. In Mario Wonder, and they haven't patched this out yet, there's a naked pipe
Yeah?
in the game, and you can see it.
What does that mean?
Oh, a naked pipe is a term used often in Mario Maker where you can see the bottom tile of a pipe not go off screen because you did a bad job making the level. Just like a floating pipe that doesn't actually go anywhere.
Floating point?
Yeah. It actually wasn't a pipe, it was a tree in the background. Like, the level was designed in a way that assumed that the bottom of the level would always be covered in tiles, but then there's a pit, and then if you look in the pit, you could see like the bottom of the asset in the background textures.
Damn. Lazy
So
devs.
So Mario
What a
Wonder is basically
terrible
like
game.
the worst game ever made. That's a lie, I really like Mario Wonder.
You're not allowed to talk about it anymore. It's you two. Not allowed.
Okay.
What?
You'll argue forever. You'll hate each other. I'll be scared. Mario Wonder, more like Mario Blunder.
I've been working on a game maker thing that uses like the inbuilt physics, and making a pause function with that is like wicked easy because you just tell them all to sleep. It's nice.
That was silly.
You can do that.
I mean, I know how to do it
with all
now.
games.
That's a reviewer in Game Dev Tycoon.
I never touched the built-in physics in Game Maker. I used them once to simulate water, and that was it.
When I first tried using them, I was like, "Hermph," but then now that I'm making this, and I'm strangling it just so, it's actually pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I think once you're aware of like the limitations and how it works, then you can do really cool stuff with it. Like anything.
Because like the way I use it is that I'm constantly like modifying the parameters of things that are physics based.
Yeah, you kind of have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, with me, like the way I do a jump, and I have like a signature silver gold jump. Now, my jumps always feel really juicy. I think that's my specialty. Yeah, like the rate of acceleration of gravity. That ain't no static variable. I specifically have 3 values, one for going up, one for the peak of your jump, and one for going down. And oftentimes, like, all 3 function really differently. Like in Turing, you have a linear upward movement when you jump. You just like go up a certain amount of pixels for as long as you hold space. And then at the peak of your jump, you have very light gravity. And then when you let go, you have strong gravity. Whether you're holding space or not also impacts gravity. But you have to be really careful with that, because sometimes that can feel really jank when people aren't expecting it. So I've figured out ways to kind of make it feel nice regardless.
Mario World has lower gravity if you hold jump.
Yeah, I don't like how it feels in free fall, so it's something that I only apply at the peak of a jump. I don't like the like Celeste thing where like holding down makes you go down faster.
That's a thing.
Yeah. I don't like that where
I don't like the Celeste thing either.
And in the contrary, like the same situation with like if you're holding space you fall slower, I don't really like that. Only at the peak of the jump. It should do that.
Only if you're looking straight down and holding D, it should do that.
There are like so many weird edge cases with how I program platformers, but I think it always comes out really nice. Like there's a problem with the linear upward movement in Turing, where it's like if I want to, let's say, make an object that bounces you with like a lot of upward momentum, I can't just apply a lot of like upward velocity to the player, because that's just going to get overridden by the linear movement of the upward jump. So I have like a system that like temporarily replaces some variables in like that very specific circumstance, which is like one example I mean of just like random variables to like Stitch Fix problems.
So wait, what's the problem again?
The problem was I wanted to make an
Sorry,
item.
actually, hold on. I should just end the stream. I'm
Yeah,
just
sorry.
like sitting there listening. Okay. Bye. Thanks for watching.